Good afternoon. You're about to take part in something very, very cool. This is called LaunchPoint. One of the things we tested out in LA is that you love to know things first, and you love to be the choice of many different things. So here we are. As I said a little bit earlier, we're going to do charity raising. MilePoint's a little bitty baby, but it's doing some pretty cool things. In fact, we just raised $9,000 selling 3 of these airplanes to generous donors out there to go to such things as Make-A-Wish. So that was a pretty cool deal. Each plane went for just barely $3,000, so that was pretty cool. So thanks to those who participated in the bidding teams, and thanks for helping others. This is the coolest thing on the planet right now. There's one thing I've always wanted to do as a little entrepreneur that started with a couple $100 years ago, is to help give back to entrepreneurs. So this is LaunchPoint competition. We have one of these here. We have another one in Tampa. What we have is 10 presentations for you. Each presentation will be 3 minutes long. Your goal, your single goal, is to pay attention. And the reason why is at the end of all the presentations, we're going to ask you to vote. Now, what are you voting for? Well, MilePoint has come up with an idea to give a winner $50,000. And the idea is MilePoint, on your behalf, we want people to come up with new ideas to help the frequent flyer. Tools, services, applications, you name it. And I think they need our support. You know, you all read about Silicon Valley and all the big VC stuff. They don't seem to be interested in a lot of frequent flyer tools. We really are. So we come up with $50,000 to give to a winner. And I can tell you, these 10 people up here think that's a pretty cool idea. So what we're going to do, you're going to listen to 10 presentations. At the end of each presentation, we're going to ask a trio of bloggers from Boarding Area, who's also one of the sponsors, and they're going to ask one question each to the presenter. So we'll hear what bloggers are seeing in the presentation, find out a little bit more. At the end of it, you're going to vote. You get one vote only. So out of the 10, here's what I want you to do. You're playing Shark Tank, and you're playing American Idol. You get to raise your hand one time, and the guy, the presenter, who has the most votes wins this competition. They're going to take home all 4 of these checks right here. We've got sponsors. Delta's one of them. Hyatt Hotels is another. Hilton Hotels and National Emerald Club. They're going to give incremental prizes to these startups as they go on toward the grand prize of $50,000. Now, if you want to come to Tampa, we're going to have another group of presenters down there. We had 15 apply for this one. We only have time for 10. 5 have already sent to Tampa, and that's a long way away. I have no doubt we'll have 5 more in Tampa to be full. We'll take the winner there, and we'll take the first runner up here. So that's why you get to vote, and it's important. And then we'll take a runner-up and winner in Tampa. And those 4 presenters are going to be online for you to vote sometime after the first of the year. And it's just like voting for the Freddies. You're going to go up, watch a video of them. If you missed the presentation, you're going to look at their presentation. We'll put it available up online. And the cool thing is the winner, we're writing a check for $50,000 on your behalf. This is your chance to be a VC. We want you to fund the next tool, the next service, the next application to help you as a frequent flyer. Everybody got the rules? We're all good? Pay attention. We got to get going. We are going to rock and roll. We have 10 of them. I chose them in alphabetical order.
By kind of show of hands, can I see how many people in this room are aware or familiar with the word wallet? Okay. So it probably doesn't make sense for me to go into the details explaining what a word wallet does. For those of you who do not know, we help frequent travelers keep track of miles, loyalty programs, trips. So I'll just maybe, 2-3 minutes, I'll talk about sort of who we are and why I'm here. So we're not VC funded. Since day one, for 8 years, we've been bootstrapping this business. So $50,000 is a lot of money for us. So if we were to win, I would take this, I would open up a bank account, would put the $50,000 in a separate bank account, and this money would be used for two reasons only. It would be used to increase security. So we would hire an outside firm, and we would do outside scans of our network, and so that costs money. So we'll try to do that. We'll hire one of those companies. And the other thing that we'll do with this money is we'll try to lobby and get the 4 airlines that you guys all know probably that are blocking us to get those airlines back on a Word Wallet. So that's what I can promise. So if technology fails, if you don't have a Word Wallet mobile app, you can always have your card with all of your account numbers on the card. Actually, one more thing that I wanted to mention is if anybody here writes about a Word Wallet and sends users our way, in the left-hand side on a Word Wallet, there is a link. In your account, there's a special link that you can use to refer people. That way, we track everybody who you referred, and if those people pay us throughout when they use a Word Wallet, when they pay for a Word Wallet Plus, about 50% of that money would go back to you. You would get points that you can convert to miles, and you can convert those points to like U.S. Airways miles, for example.
Do you think $50,000 is enough to buy off one of the airlines so it'll actually let you guys back in?
No, but what we need to travel. We need to, this takes time and money, and we need to do presentations. We need to get in front. I don't know what it takes. I don't know how much money we need, but definitely, like I said, if we get the $50,000, it'll be used for those only 2 reasons: to get the airlines back and to increase the security. And by the way, a Word Wallet is secure, so don't worry about it. But it'd be good to spend more resources.
Are we going to be receiving targeted credit card offers from our Word Wallet profiles, or are you not going to be attacking us with credit card links in the future and other marketing?
I do plan on adding some, more. We do that today, by the way, right? So that there are, if you're checking your, SPG account, we would show the SPG card there while it's being checked. I mean, this is another source of revenue. Again, a Word Wallet is not VC funded, and we have 14 people working on a Word Wallet. So in order to keep the lights on, that's just another revenue stream for us. If you use those links, we get a bonus. We get a commission fee. So,
do you have any plans to introduce new features that would make it easier to, say, value the miles that we're tracking with a Word Wallet?
So we're working on a new redesign of a Word Wallet right now. I've been working on it for probably almost a year now, and I'm hoping to get it out by the end of this year. So after that redesign is done, yes, we're going to be adding more and more features. Right now, I do not want to add features or too many new features in the current design and then redo them for the new one. So.
Next up is Business Traveler Social with Tim. There he is. Pick it out and run it.
How's everybody doing today, huh? You guys doing good post-lunch? Gonna try to wake you up a little bit. Good. Glad to hear that you're all paying attention. My name is Tim Hines, and I'm excited to introduce the BT Social Travel app to you today. BT Social helps business travelers and frequent travelers like you make valuable connections and maximize your downtime through networking on your business trips. If you consider yourself a frequent business traveler, which I'm sure you all do, you all understand what it's like to have downtime in an airport during a layover or to have another meal alone at the hotel bar by yourself. Well, what BT Social is here to do is here to change that. What if during that downtime you were able to know if a colleague was one gate over, or if a valuable connection was maybe just checked into your hotel? And wouldn't it be great to be able to connect with these people in person? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then that's what BT Social is here to do. Maybe you're like this guy, sitting at the bar, post-flight, a little black-eyed from your red eye maybe you took here this morning. So, what makes BT Social unique? Well, first, we're the only social travel app of its kind, built for you, the busy traveler looking to expand your network while you're on the road. With BT Social, you're able to establish connections with colleagues that you wouldn't have known were going to be in town at the same time as you. You can also make connections with new travelers or new friends during your downtime on your trips. Second, what makes BT Social great is that it can be what you want it to be as far as the networking capabilities. Perhaps maybe you like to connect with new people when you're networking. Maybe you are just looking for a layover buddy to share a cup of coffee. Either way, it can be as what you want it to be. So you can be as social as you want it to be. With the BT Social travel app, we are actually able to use it as well during your mileage runs, because we all know you like to collect your points when you've got nothing else better to do between your flights. With our app, you're able to do 3 simple tools. You can check into any location worldwide and meet fellow travelers and say, hey, look, I'm here ready to network with you. You can create social meetups with your current friends or colleagues and invite other travelers to join. And you can plan your downtime ahead for your trips when you're looking to network with people nearby. And best of all, our app is available on any device at any time. We built it as a web app so you can access it on a smartphone, tablet, or PC from anywhere that you have internet access. And it sure beats the alternative of having beer and pizza alone in your hotel room, right, guys? So what does this mean to you? Well, I'm happy to announce that the app is actually live. We launched 2 weeks ago, and we've been getting a lot of great press and even better traction. So what do I want from you to do? I want you to take out your phones right now and your tablets, go to app.btsocial.com, sign up for our app today so you can start networking and you can never miss a connection. Secondly, we came here to win this competition. We want that $50,000 to take our business to the next level. So please raise your hand, vote for BT Social so we can take our app to the next level for you guys. Now, who wants a t-shirt? Anybody want a BT Social t-shirt? Thank you guys, I'm Tim Hines.
All good, all good. Out of t-shirts. Congratulations.
First, I actually have 2 questions, so I'm going to ask one and then maybe I'll loop back around. You're talking about another sort of social networking site. Are you integrated with other sites? If I check into you, do I also check into Foursquare, to Facebook, to Twitter, to BlackBerry Messenger, to whatever all those things are?
Sure.
Or am I wholly separate?
Well, our app is in beta, so we're going to be adding in all that technology, which is part of the reason why we need the $50,000. We bootstrapped our business to this point. But right now it is integrated with LinkedIn, so if you have a LinkedIn account, which I'm sure 90% of you do, you can create your account with LinkedIn and log in that way. We will be adding a feature when you check in that it'll check in across all of your favorite social media that you want to share with.
Will you be able to selectively block people from seeing you, such as should my boss learn how to use your app?
Yes, that's a great question, and that is another feature we're actually building in here in the next couple weeks. Right now, the platform's open, so anybody that signs up will see everybody, but that's mainly just so we can, when you go on there, you see activity. But we will be adding security levels whether you want to share your information with people you work with your friends, or with any other group, so kind of like a circles feature, similar to like what Google Plus does.
So you briefly mentioned that we can check in and follow other people when we're on mileage runs, but what about people like me who have never taken a business trip in my life and probably won't in the near future? Are you planning to market in any way, or would this be interesting to someone who's predominantly a leisure traveler?
Well, we're trying to stick with our niche that's business travel, and the reason why is we've actually been plugged into the business travel space for a while now. We go to conferences like GBTA and the ACT conference. I was actually just in New York last week. We're trying to figure out a way to market it for a managed travel program as well. So while there's a lot of other social media out there for leisure travel, including people are using Facebook, Foursquare, TripAdvisor, all of those sites, we kind of saw the emptiness in the business travel segment, so we're trying to stick with that. So if you're not traveling for business, then this probably isn't the app for you.
All good. BT Social.
Thank you, guys. Vote for us.
Good luck. Never heard of this one yet, but you will. It's a Card Watchdog, and here we go. Pick it out and run
Thanks,
it, man.
Randy. When your application is due, you have an annual fee coming up or a minimum spend requirement. And we've made it super simple for you guys to sign up. You can sign up, log in, add your first card in under 60 seconds. As you can see there, pretty simple. Randy Peterson signed up. Look at that. Look at that. So then you're directed to your dashboard and your My Cards page, and then just add a card. So first step to do is identify whose card it is, then begin typing in the name of that card and Look at those pretty pictures, and just scroll down and select the card's image. Enter the last 4 digits of your credit card so you can identify it. See the annual fee is already auto-populated. Then select your application date so we can email you a notification in 11 months that your annual fee is coming up. You can also set up a custom notification or a notification about your minimum spend requirement. You can select which bureau is pulled during the application process. And then, as you can see down below, all the unique benefits, we'll get there, all the unique benefits, the sign-up bonus, the APR, that's already auto-populated, so like lazy folk like me don't have to enter it in manually. But then you save your card, and then it's automatically added to your My Cards page. And there you can see the unique benefits, the APR, the application date. Let's take a look at my page. Has more cards on it. You see, I see all the unique benefits, all the APR. If I have a question of which card to use at a grocery store or restaurant, which I already know, but if I needed to quickly reference something, I could hop online and check it out right there. And I can relax knowing that I'm going to get an email a month before my annual fee is due so I don't forget. And here's an example of that email. So there's the phone number, the call right there, the last 4 digits, and a nice big picture of the card if I don't know what the Starwood card looks like. Another example is the don't miss that minimum spend requirement. No one wants to miss out on miles, right? So we have a basic version that's 100% free that you guys can try out. You can manage up to 10 credit cards with unlimited email notifications. Sign up today. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. I know I felt a lot better once I was able to get my credit cards organized and managed in a great way. So for the first 5 people that sign up today, we'll give you a nice Card Watchdog t-shirt, form-fitted, super soft. Just meet us outside. We'll let you know if you won. So a special thanks to listening to me. I appreciate it.
Can you discuss a bit about what you're doing in terms of security, building on from what Award Wallet talked about?
Sure.
What's your plan? What, in terms of, is this a subscription service that you will be marketed to, won't be marketed to, and the security behind it?
Sure. It's 100% secure. We're not keeping full credit card numbers in the site. It's SSL encrypted, so there's no need to worry about that. We do have a premium subscription plan if you want to get text message alerts. And then that's kind of how we're monetizing the site right now.
So you'll have a lot of information about all the cards I do have, and that means you can infer what I don't have. How will that affect your future marketing and attempts to generate revenue?
Yeah, good question. Right now, we don't have any plan to do any targeted marketing like that. We're just focusing on building a user base and building the best product for that user base. Down the road, maybe.
And is there any sort of plan, roadmap, thoughts of being able to log into my account, check how much I've actually spent, and tell me not just, hey, you make sure you spend the $4,000, but moron, you need to spend another $50 because you can't do math anymore?
Right. Great question. This is definitely 1.0 version, and winning the competition would help us really develop out and add those features. That's definitely on the roadmap as well, where you could actually log in and track your spend of that credit card for people who can't count.
Right here, I don't know what he's going to do. It's brand new. I haven't seen it, never heard of it. Sean with Fly on Points.
Hey everyone, I'm Sean Meehan. I have an idea for a tool that I know that I want to use, and so I'm going to build it. It's going to take a pretty robust engine. I haven't started it yet, but let me tell you about it. It's called Fly on Points, and my mother's an English major, or English professor, and she gave me the idea to use this word floop as a verb. So using this product is going to be called flooping. I don't know how I feel about it, but welcome. So I have a lot of points from membership rewards, star points, and ultimate rewards, and a lot of times I want to use them for leisure travel, but I'm trying to keep my outlay, my personal costs down as much as possible. I know that I can transfer them to all kinds of different partners, and there's going to be a certain amount of miles used for the same flight for this partner as they are for this partner, and the taxes and fees on that award are going to vary as well. So this engine, you're going to punch in what type of points you have, what type of seating you would like, and your departure and your arrival city, and if you want it to be a one-way. The results are going to come back. This is a sample with ultimate rewards, business and economy seating between New York and London. Southwest doesn't fly the route. United has the route with 50,000 in business, 25,000 in coach.
for a fee of $2.50. British Airways has it with much higher fees, with lower miles. Virgin Atlantic has it with similar thing, less miles but higher fees. And that's going to help me make a decision about who I want to transfer my ultimate rewards points for if I want to fly New York to London. In the future, I hope to build out the engine to include partners within each partner. So if you transfer to, for example, ANA, but you want to fly on United, that's going to have a different fee and different taxes associated. That's just the quick pitch. It's an engine. It hasn't been built yet. If I get this money, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this engine so that I can make better decisions with my points. Thanks.
I don't disagree that it's a useful tool. I'm just curious how you can make money with it. Are you planning on doing things like providing an offer? I mean, MileWise talked about the opportunity to search for revenue flights and compare those to award space, and they had a booking engine so that they could make money off of bookings. Are you planning on doing something similar, or how do you monetize this product?
I would probably monetize it similar to Expert Flyer. There would be an annual subscription fee, and it would have unlimited searches.
Is there any thought towards working in availability searches as part of this? Obviously, I mean, you have, United could be 30,000 one way to London in coach, but it also could be 50 or 60 if the seats aren't available. Is there any thought towards figuring out how that's going to work with travel dates?
Perhaps in future iterations. My plan for the start is just to show the lowest amount possible, to not include dates, so that people have a target and then they can search in their own category, in their own airline, based on which dates that they need or what they're flexible with.
What's the timeline for your development on this to launch a product?
I'm not really sure. I expect 6 months to a year to have something robust up and working.
Jeff from Free World Traveler.
All right, I'm Jeff Sauer. You might know me as Jeff Setter, and I'm here to talk about my startup idea, and it's called Free World Traveler. So I know what you're asking yourself. Do we really need another tool? We have a lot of great tools represented here. We're all talking, 5 before me, 4 after me. Do we really need another tool? I think we do. And the reason why is because all these tools are geared towards the expert traveler. There's not really much out there for somebody who's trying to get into this and trying to become a new traveler. They feel a little left out. They're getting ignored. And the learning curve is just so high that it's difficult for some people to get in here. And the expert flyers, sort of the people in this room, they're like, talk to the hand, guys. I'm not going to teach you anything. But the problem is that these people are about 99% of the market. People who are getting into this, who are the novices, we need to create something for them, don't we? They have dreams too. They want to travel the world. I'm going to give you a little story. So I'm trying to go to the Maldives. I don't really know how to say it. Is it Maldives, Maldives, whatever it is? Don't worry about it. I'm trying to go there. I go to Wikipedia, try to figure out what airlines fly there. I do a search. Gary shows up because Gary owns Google, apparently. He shows everything. Some flyer talk threads are showing up. Points guy, he's all over the place as well. And I learned that I need to book it on the phone with Korean Airlines. And this is what I look like, minus the hair. What I really wanted to know is how many miles will it take to get from point A to point B, and what are my chances of success? I want that question because I want to save the 5 hours that I'm searching all over the place and be able to use data in order to figure that out. This leaves me feeling puzzled when I'm doing my searches. We need an easy button. We need to make this thing as easy as possible. So I'm proposing the simplest search engine that I can think of, and that is, where are you coming from, where do you want to go, and we'll give you the answer. Our goal is to make award travel easier by simplifying the discovery process. The results might look something like this. As I mentioned, we are developing the program out right now, but we're still in pre-product launch. So what differentiates us is that we give you the information, but we're also incorporating expert opinions, which is the people in this room, as well as user ratings in order to become something like the TripAdvisor for award travel. We're going to use social media plus expert ratings in order to give you a good idea as to what's happening. We set your expectations and teach you how to fly, literally. How it works, we're going to scrape award chart data, which is publicly available information. We're going to get expert opinions, that's people in this room. We're going to get user ratings, and we're going to turn it into an intelligence engine that gives us the information that we want. We can also incorporate things like reviews of routes, social proof, and create a strong community around it. And then we can provide you with up-to-date information about the most efficient way to use your frequent flyer miles with the highest probability of success. We can help you take to the next step. We're not actually going to be somebody that's replacing award booking. We're not going to be replacing a lot of these other things. We're going to push them to the next level to get more people interested in this area and trying to aspire to travel for free. Simply put, Free World Traveler makes your world bigger. Become an early adopter at freeworld.travel.
The basic plan, how many miles it's going to take, plus an added level of whether, which airline we think you should fly on? Is that the gist of it?
It's how many miles. We can all look at award charts, but then also experienced people saying, yeah, this is going to happen or it's not going to happen by using that voting system in order to tell.
Okay, I mean, I saw you had, sorry, I'm asking a two-part question, guys. You had, like, Thai coach, United Business, Lufthansa first, and obviously Lufthansa first had a much lower chance of happening. Is the theory there, that's the chances of that, all those things happening from one program versus another program? Is there some, like, right, if I have Lufthansa miles, actually chances of Lufthansa first are pretty high.
Yeah, that's a summation of what you're looking at. Behind it, you're going to actually be able to get more information, and it will sort of give you an idea as to the most common routings and things like that. But it's more simplifying it so you can just check. It's a quick gut check, and then you'll be able to go and get more information if you need it.
So you talked about part of the appeal of this to the inexperienced travelers is that you've made it dead simple, but you're also trying to pitch the expert opinion. So if it's too simple, are you worried about scaring off the experts? What makes an expert want to use it?
Yeah. So I would consider myself to be advanced to almost an expert in this area, and I would use this all the time because I want to save those 5 hours that I spent going to Wikipedia, going to all these other different places and learning that information. So I would simplify it for me. I think if you're a booking service and you just wanted to know where does somebody go, then that information is available to you. So it could be the front end for any one of us into searching online.
Building on Scott's question, it looks like the base of this is a lot of user source material. How do you convince somebody like Seth with his 50,000 plus Flyer Talk posts to come over to your community and invest the time to build up that user and information base that the general population will depend on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think that it's going to be part outreach, part giving them some kind of offer in order to make it worthwhile for them, whether it's a lifetime membership or some kind of affiliate program or something like that where they can bring people in. When we look at revenue model, I'm still trying to decide on the best way to do that. I think a subscription might be a little bit too premature. I think so maybe it's either sign-up bonuses or sign-up offers for credit cards or some kind of advertising model that's in there. And we would just need to make it worthwhile. And then I think that other people would learn about it because really ultimately what we're doing is we're promoting the next step, which is all these other tools and all these other services that are out there. So we're not trying to compete. We're trying to be the front end to get more people interested in this. So it makes everybody's world bigger.
And then one more, if you have people like Seth, how do you get them to write in clear English that the rest of us can understand?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's got to be a dead simple voting area, and the experts would be using a similar voting thing where they can say yes, this is likely or not. So it's a vote yes or no type thing, and we would try to get it so they'd give as much information as they can in there, and then they would be pre-invited as being selected as an expert. So I think that could be a badge of honor for somebody, especially if they're trying to get started. Maybe somebody who's extremely established wouldn't find it worth their time, and maybe it's conflicting with what they're looking to do. But somebody who's trying to make a name for themselves or try to become an expert, that can be a badge of honor for them to wear, that they are certified expert.
Another newbie, Pin Trip, Stephen.
My name is Stefan Gottlieb, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pintrips. And forgive my accent, I'm from Belgium. Don't hold it against me. So who am I? I'm a road warrior. I know my way around all the different travel sites that I need to use to be able to find the flight I want at the price I'm willing to pay. The problem is, how does a typical traveler search? They start by going to a couple of sites, then they check a few more sites, then they go back and check again for price updates. They add more sites to their search, and they keep on doing it to the point that it's overwhelming. Pintrips enables you to capture the flights that you want as you perform your search. So how does that work? We inject pin buttons next to each itinerary that you find on every single travel site. You just pin the flight you want. Then easily navigate to different travel sites. We automatically get you to the results page where you again can pin the flights you like. We send all of the flights that you've pinned during your search onto a main dashboard. And you can pin anything you want, different destinations, different dates. Just feel free to pin as much as you want. What happens then is every time that you log back into Pintrips, we auto-update the price points. And there's also a price history of every single time that you log in. Pintrips is social. You can invite whoever you want to the trip that you're planning, whether they're traveling with you, whether they're helping you to plan your trip, or whether you're trying to meet someone in Chicago, coming from New York, you're coming from San Francisco, and you have the whole chat area where you can use that to coordinate your travel plans. Now, on top of that, you can plan as many trips as you want in one location. You can see who's invited to what trip. You can go and navigate between one to the other. It's just a very simple place where all of your flights are in one location. Now, right now, the consumers are being pushed a lot of information through a lot of different sites. Everybody knows which site that they like to use, which sites that they trust. But the problem is, which side is each of these travel sites on? I mean, obviously, they're trying to push something to you. Pintrips is rebalancing the equation. We're brand agnostic. We'll let you pin from wherever you want and let the travel providers push information back to you. So Pintrips is really the platform to make your booking decisions. You can track all the flights that you want, price updates over a long period of time, and you can go across many travel sites, and everything is in one location. There's a lot of challenges when you plan your travel. Re-entering the same information, trying to send mass emails to all of the people involved, going back to check for price updates. Pintrips is really the tool to overcome all of these pain points. Another thing that we just recently launched is the public pin boards. What is the public pin boards? Public pin boards are flights that are being generated by the community. So it's great because you can tap into the collective, see what people have pinned, what great deals they have found, as well as share with the community. So if you find a great flight and you just want to pin it to your dashboard, it will come on top of the leaderboard. With that, I would like to thank you for listening, and I'm open to questions, and feel free to come and talk to me afterwards.
So every time you check in, you're going to update those results, and I imagine that's going to create some kind of server load on the different travel companies you're connecting to.
Yes.
Are you worried that that's going to get you shut down? They're going to send you cease and desist letters or something like
No,
that?
so we're actually not scraping anyone.
Okay.
So we established partnerships, and we keep adding more partnerships, and we've actually been contacted by airlines to start establishing partnerships with us because they see it as a channel for them to retarget to the specific users.
Obviously, you said you're working partnerships, so that changes things a little bit. Will you be able to initiate a sort of search from this interface? So it'd be sort of a meta search interface, so instead of just having like Kayak that searches, search one and done, whatever. It's going to be you, and you're going to search all those 15 sites.
So we're actually not offering search. The content on each board that you create is user generated. So from Pintrips, you can say, okay, I want to search on Kayak, or I want to search on Expedia, I want to search on Orbit. We send you automatically to the results page, where the only thing that you have to do is you find the flight you like, you just pin it and send it over to your dashboard. So we don't generate any content.
Okay, and the second part of that question is this pin button that gets inserted, obviously, into, like I go to Orbitz now, I don't see a pin button.
No, so you have to install, it's an extension, it's a plugin.
It's a plugin. Does it work on all platforms?
It works on all 4 major platforms.
I hope I don't have to use Facebook to do any of your functionality, but it looks like it is integrated with all the social media platforms.
It is integrated, so the advantage of logging in with Facebook gives you the ability to share just by, through your Facebook login saying, I want to invite John Schmo, and automatically comes in. If you don't have a Facebook login, then you have to actually enter their email address. So they get an email invitation saying somebody shared a trip with you. They automatically get to that dashboard, and they can see what you've pinned, the message you might have put in there saying, hey, I found this great flight to Vegas, you want to join me?
Hey, everybody. Thanks, FTU team, for having us. I'm here today to talk to you about PointSound, the most flexible way to collect the most miles when you book your hotel stays. My name is Chris Boyd, and I am the co-founder and chief product officer of PointSound. Usually generally pretty loud. Is that better? Much better. Cool. So a quick background. PointSound launched in October of 2012. We're live today in 10 loyalty currencies at over 150,000 hotels globally, and we're currently chasing a market value of about $30 billion in the US alone, which is a really, really big market. So let's have a quick look at what this looks like. As mentioned, we're a hotel booking site for frequent travelers where they can earn generous amounts of their favorite frequent flyer currency for booking their hotel stays with us. In this case, in this example, I'm looking at Chicago, and I'm going to choose to earn United Mileage Plus miles. Like traditional hotel booking sites that you've seen before, we offer a stack of properties in Chicago, all price match guaranteed, with the necessary tools that you need to kind of navigate through the result set. What's unique about PointSound is that we offer between 3 and 20, in this case, United Mileage Plus miles per dollar spent for booking through us. So what's our approach? We've really taken 2 different approaches, or focused on 2 different things. The first is selection. As you all know, as frequent travelers, selection is really important. As an example, I'm a Hyatt guy. If there's a Hyatt that's available within my budget and convenient enough, I'm going to stay there. I want my hotel points, I want my elite benefits, and I'm obsessed with requalifying for next year. With our Double Dip program, PointTown funds a 3 to 7 United Mileage Plus miles per dollar on the booking, and we also guarantee your Hyatt points and your Hyatt elite benefits. If a Hyatt isn't available, we offer in a select set of destinations for a select set of hotels a set of hand-picked properties that pay out in the 8 to 20 mile per dollar spent range. And if you aren't able to stay in either of those, or you just really need to stay in a hotel next to your early morning meeting, we offer 150,000 hotels globally that pay out at a still very generous 3 to 8 miles per dollar spent. The second big challenge we had was how to bring users cost effectively into this channel. And what we've done is use points and miles as a tool to get our partners and our customers to do the things that we want them to do, like signing up, referring friends, booking, and doing other things that really help us get the word out. 100% of our marketing and acquisition budget to date has gone directly into our customers' frequent flyer accounts through mileage bonuses. So how has this worked out so far? As mentioned, we launched in October and saw some pretty good growth for the past couple of months. For the past few months, we've really seen some tremendous exponential growth in bookings. We think that this idea is really resonating and catching on. Consumers get it and love it, and we are thrilled about it.
Some people here already know that I like you guys. What can you do to reward people who are those repeat bookers?
So we've got, one of the things that we didn't have time to talk about is a leveling system on the site where the more you engage with our site, the more you book with us, the more you talk about the site, the more value you receive from the site. So that, for instance, now manifests itself in higher earn rates. So customers who book more with us earn more and more points per dollar spent when they book with us later. We're developing that program, so we'll be offering more premium amenities the more that you book.
Do you provide any form of comparison to other rates out there, or in the Hyatt example, a comparison to a Hyatt rate to say, am I paying more for the extra mileage bonus? Am I paying the same, paying less?
So we offer a price match guarantee on all of our rates, and we've got technology on the back that is able to pretty clearly determine that we are comparable with the current real-time market baseline pricing. So we are able to guarantee that our rates are at parity with the rest of the market. So if you find a rate that's going to be cheaper, as long as it's an open market normal rate, we will we'll guarantee that and refund the difference.
Does that rate guarantee apply to, today it's $120 and next week it's $99 and I'm not staying for a couple of weeks? Is that a sort of overtime guarantee, or is it like just right now?
It is an overtime guarantee, again, as long as it's that open market rate that you can buy online at any of the other sites.
Next up, Shuttle Me.
I want to thank everyone at Frequent Travel University and MilePoint for putting this on. It's a great opportunity. My name is Nathan Egan. I'm here to talk to you today about ShuttlePoint. Shuttle Me, rather, I'm sorry. Shuttle Me is a little bit different than a lot of the other solutions and ideas that are here today. It's really here to solve a problem that affects most all of us. So I'm wondering how many people out here have arrived at an airport, maybe it's cold, maybe it's snowing, and you really want to get to your hotel, go to sleep. But you have no idea where it's at. You're standing outside at O'Hare and you're freezing. You call the hotel, no one shows up. I know that happens to me, O'Hare, JFK, LAX, all across the board. So the trouble with the hotel service provider, the car rental service provider, and your parking lot shuttles are that you have no idea when they're coming. Hopefully they're coming often, especially at night. They're not. And those delays really can affect your perception of a particular property, the brand as a whole. And so this solution really wants to address those issues. The same thing happens when you want to go back to the airport. You're in that rat race of being in the lobby, making sure you're there early so you don't miss your seat, not knowing when the shuttle's going to depart, if it's already full. Those sorts of things make traveling really difficult, whether you're a frequent traveler like everyone in this room, or even a casual traveler. So Shuttle Me is a mobile website and application that's set up for you to be able to request shuttle service from any of those types of providers. It's free to you, and it's really a person-to-person tool. So this is going to let you get real-time info about when the shuttle's going to arrive. You can share your GPS location so the shuttle driver will be able to see you, local driving laws aside. They already have smartphones and they're using them anyway. So the benefit of this is that you really are going to have a lot more visibility and transparency, and that can reduce the anxiety and concern that you're going to have. That's important for the hotel operator. So although this is free for all of us and it's addressing this thing that's painful and annoying for you, it's really a tool that hotel operators hopefully are going to want to purchase as a very cost-effective way to mitigate customer satisfaction issues. Some additional features that I'm anticipating for it would include being able to do two-way messaging like WhatsApp so that the drivers can actually contact you if they're unable to locate you through GPS locations. And then also to be able to schedule the morning shuttle, adjust the time you want to depart, and make sure that you have a seat available to go back to the airport if necessary. From a business owner standpoint, it's very inexpensive. Software as a service, they pay a subscription. It can start as low as $50 a month, and that allows them to make no significant investment. It gives them analytics about how many people are using the tool, how much it's costing per passenger, per day, per driver, per shuttle, so they can more appropriately manage their staffing, make sure that they're delivering appropriate amounts of service for the load that they have. And they can reduce that customer satisfaction risk of having a problem. And then finally, for providers that already have travel apps, there'd be an API to integrate.
So you mentioned the API, which was something I thought about that would be good to integrate into like Hilton's app or Starwood's app or something like that. But one of the questions I have is that this sounds a lot like Uber, but for hotel shuttles.
You said it.
Yeah. So Uber works because you've got these town cars that don't have customers, and so it provides additional revenue. You're not actually providing additional revenue. You're just trying to help them avoid lost revenue from angry customers. Do you see that as sort of, would that be sort of more of an uphill battle? Do you think that will make it more difficult to get customers and hotels to sign on?
That's a great question. So it is like Uber for hotel shuttles or car rental shuttles. It's not a revenue generating tool for them. It is a mitigation tool. But I think that if you asked anyone, if you talked to Jeff from Hyatt and you said, geez, Jeff, would you pay $50 a hotel per month to make sure that you had one less angry customer per day? And he'd probably say yes. And I think that the potential to reduce customer anger is much more than one per day. I know personally I've had dozens, hundreds of bad experiences over the last 8 years of travel. But it is fair. There's not a clear revenue generator for them. It is an expense for doing business.
What it's going to involve for the guy at the front desk and the shuttle driver in terms of time, equipment, because to your point, I think the companies might welcome this greatly, be happy to pay the fee, but it hinges on me as a customer trusting that the guy at the desk is going to update or do his piece. So how easy is it operationally for a hotel to implement this?
That's a great question. It's actually been a real focus. So in my real life, I develop products and software, launched several of them, and it's really about making ease of use a priority. So this is going to be something where if you have any type of device, tablet, smartphone, or computer that can access the internet, you'd be able to work with this tool. And then because we're using GPS technology, you can actually have people be tracked without having them take an explicit action as long as they have the app installed. So they don't need to be physically updating their position or updating availability all that much. It is, there's still some potential for user error, but generally people do have, even at the front desk, they've got the tools and technology that'd be necessary to do this without having to invest in additional equipment at a unit level.
If this is basically just that person sort of responding back, yes, I'm ready, or they're on their way kind of thing, how is that any different than when I call the front desk for the 12th time and say, where the hell is the guy? And they say, he's on his way.
Well,
other than that, it's a fancy app. I mean,
sure. So the difference is you've got real-time positioning location for you and the shuttle, as well as the ability to actually communicate with the shuttle driver or the front desk. So the front desk can see where the shuttle's at versus what they're saying in clear visibility. And then secondarily, the shuttle can see where you're at, and you can get an estimated time between those 2 points using mapping software.
Traxo.
Great, thank you very much. You guys heard a little bit about Traxo earlier, so I'm not going to go back over all of the details. I wanted to focus on one specific aspect of the product. But just as a quick refresher, what we talked about earlier was Traxo is the best way to manage your trip information, your mileage and point information, has a series of tools available for you to make your life easier as a traveler, can seamlessly track your entire travel history, take the best trips by getting advice from your friends, and then lastly, discover your Traxo travel score and earn great free perks. So I wanted to focus on this last piece. Quick question, is anybody familiar, just show of hands, with Clout? Clout basically manages or measures your overall social influence. Anybody familiar with FICO? I know you guys are all familiar with FICO. So essentially what we've built with Traxo, this Traxo Travel Score, is your credit score for travel. It's a fun program, but it'll also earn you free perks. So it's a comprehensive measure of your overall travel experience. Scores range from 1 to 100. You can proudly display your credentials on a blog. This is my particular little widget, so it's telling me I'm currently in DC, score of 88, and it shows some of my recent trophies. The benefit to you is that it unlocks the value of your combined industry experience. The fact that you have elite status, that you travel a lot, the fact that you are that 1% that generates 80% of the revenue for these travel brands. The score is a cross-platform, it's objective, and it's verifiable. So you would simply send your travel information to any, you can forward emails, we understand 1,300 different formats, or you can link travel sites, and we understand we pull information from 190 different travel sources. How do we measure the score? A lot of different factors go into it, fairly sophisticated. We cover 4 major factors. We cover the coverage, how many different unique places in the world have you been, distance traveled, duration of trips, status, so elite status that you've currently earned, the fact that these trips are verified because we're pulling it directly from the source, recency of trips, etc. Automatically updates every time you travel. You stop traveling, your score will trail off. If you start traveling, your score increases. We've linked the fact that you have a higher travel score with a series of perks. So this is from our last batch. We offered a series of perks for folks that scored 80 and above, and then for the 90s and above, we would offer free luggage, free round-trip airfare that we were able to negotiate on your behalf from the different travel suppliers that want to present you with their brand and their product. We've also worked hard to give you credit for your past trips, so you don't have to start from scratch. We can import past trips from TripIt, import your past check-ins from Foursquare, and even go into a lot of these different travel sites and pull past trips you've already made, which gives you credit for that. So 2 quick cases. Michael joined the site about 3 months ago, and within the first week, because he was able to link his past travel accounts, you can see here 157 of his past trips, 22 travel accounts. You can see his status across the various accounts and what he's earned in terms of achievements. Same thing for Seth, who's been with the product from the beginning, the early days, 300 trips on the site. He's on a series of leaderboards for us. So what that allows us to discover is that to promote you as the best customers to the different travel brands who will give you the best perks.
I like the ratings, and I use them, and the other day noticed that I'm #1 for red eyes in your system, which I'm both happy and really disappointed by. But is that bragging, or is that for me to brag, or is there actual real value behind this? What's the real value delivering other than me getting to say I fly red eyes too often?
Yeah, that particular part of it is just bragging and making the site a little bit more fun, a little bit of more engaging. The other aspect of it, in terms of the actual trips and status, that will go towards your score and will qualify you for the better perks. So it's a combination of real science behind the score plus some social engagement features that we've added just to make it fun.
I remember your conversation earlier before the last talk, and you were saying that this is sort of the third evolution where it incorporates all this travel data automatically rather than having to send it. But one of the things I like about TripIt is that I can control what itineraries get sent to TripIt and what don't. Is there any way to remove itineraries from Traxo if I don't want them showing up? Because sometimes there's too much information and I don't want it all there.
Sure. So you can manage your privacy on both a trip-by-trip basis as well as a buddy-by-buddy basis. So you could say, we will say, we've just detected this trip. Would you like to add it to your Traxo account? And you can make that a setting and then mark it public versus private. And then you can also selectively share information with a particular person but not with another. You can follow certain people but not follow others. So all of that's built into the base product.
Advice to prevent the people in this audience from getting the perfect scores that no doubt they'll figure out how to do their scripts and everything else to be Seth times 10.
Right. So we've gone to great lengths to make sure that it's objective, because if it's not objective, the travel suppliers will say, well, this is just another score that's being gamed. So the score is not based on activity that you take within our website. We could have easily said, invite 10 friends, submit a couple of reviews, we'll bump up your score. We didn't do that. It's based solely on the fact of what we know and what we know to be true and verified because we've gone and pulled it directly from the source. So we're not taking your word that you're gold or platinum or titanium. We're going to the source and saying that you are in fact that status and that you've in fact taken that trip.
Just a quick follow-up. Do you distinguish between award travel and revenue travel, and how does that factor into the scores?
We don't distinguish. A trip is a trip from our perspective. So.
Good afternoon. Thanks for waiting for the last presentation. I'm Matthew Goldman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wallaby Financial. We are actually a payments company, but we're a payments company built for rewards junkies. I'm one of you guys, maybe not quite as good at it, but I have hundreds of hotel nights and been a business traveler on at least a twice monthly basis for a decade. We are building a payment card that's engineered from the ground up to focus on rewards maximization. Right? Most people in this audience have a lot of cards, and we're focused on helping you use them. In addition, we're building great features into the platform that will enable us to connect offline and online transactions together through the Wallaby card to enable new savings and reward opportunities that you're not easily able to take advantage of today. It's a simple problem we're solving. Which card do I use? Your wallet probably looks even worse than this guy's. The average American has 3.5 cards. I guess the number in this room is probably double digits. And you know those rules. I know you know those rules. And I know you have a lot of cards with rewards, probably better than the average American, which is only 80%. But you're probably still missing out on rewards, right? We found that for the average consumer, we can increase their rewards by 45%, and even for advanced users in the double digits. This is because card programs are really complicated and getting more so. Right? When Chase Freedom came out, it was just 5% cash back on gas. Now that's only part of the year, and there's a limit, and there's a this, and a that, and the other. And this is what gave me the idea to start the company. When I, who thought I was so smart with my credit cards, realized that I was just leaving money on the table by using my Starwood card when it was actually gas station quarter at Chase. Really frustrating. And we want to help you manage that by letting you set up rules and preferences and allow us to do it for you. So we have the Wallaby card, which is one card to rule them all. The Wallaby card is a network-branded payment card connected to a cloud-based digital wallet that allows you to take all of your branded cards and stick them in that wallet and set preferences around how you want us to manage those rewards. And every time you swipe, we will automatically route that transaction to your preference to maximize for you. Don't know what MCC a merchant is? We will. Don't know if you've hit that $1,500 yet? We will. We're going to import all that financial data, and because we actually sit inside the payment stream, we understand the actual transaction that's flowing through. In addition, Wallaby is a mobile-centric experience. Transaction happens when you're on the go. That's commerce. It's the card plus a mobile app. And the mobile app is out there in the market today for iPhone and Android. It allows you to get recommendations on your card, look up your status. We've got some great new updates coming out in May that will import all this financial data and help you keep track of whether you need that extra $50 to spend. You've already gone past the limit. You'll be able to use the card without the app, or the app without the card, whatever suits you best. We have great security. We're going to be a PCI Level 1 audited firm. You want to hand us your credit card data, we're going to safeguard that for you. If you don't, you can just use the app. So thank you for listening to me about Wallaby. You can download Wallaby today at wallaby/mobile or follow us on Twitter at @wallabycard.
Do I understand correctly that I'm going to have this card, I mean, you have a 5 on there, so that we're saying this is a MasterCard branded card that I'm going to swipe at a transaction point and somehow that charge ends up on my American Express card bill?
Yes.
What?
So for background, I actually come out of payments. I spent several years at a top payments startup called Green Dot. Some of you may be familiar with from their money packs and things. So I have great knowledge and experience in payments, and I can't disclose which network we're going to be on. I know that says a 5. It looks really nice, so I can't confirm all that kind of things. But we are able to switch the payment in the cloud because we are fundamentally actually issuing you a payment card and then routing the transaction. It's something nobody's ever done before, and that's what we think startups are all about, is breaking new ground and disrupting the existing systems.
So I imagine this is going to cost something. And you said that you think that we can improve our spending habits so that we're earning more miles. Do you actually think that the miles that we earn in addition to our own pretty good but perhaps not optimized spending patterns are going to make up for that annual fee or whatever charge you have?
Yeah, so I guess it depends how good you are, right? So we're committed to charging a fee that we believe gives you at least 4 times more value than what we have to charge you. So for example, we think it's going to be really easy for an average consumer to save even more than that, but even for an advanced year, say that. And we're willing to take that challenge, right? We're willing to give people a money back guarantee that if we don't actually save you more than you were saving or earn you more miles, however you want to phrase it, we'll refund that to you, right? That's our brand promise.
Still thinking on this one. The softball for this audience is, when are you going to have a metal version of the card? And
that's a great question, because it goes really well with the previous one. We do want to have a metal card. It'll probably cost more, though. You know, you got to watch out for those metals. They're expensive to manufacture.
chip and pin, is that in the works?
Chip and pin, yep, all those things. You know, we're building this for the future and for travelers, so we're very focused on solving that. Now, you know, exactly what the metal card will look like, I couldn't tell you today, but I can tell you this card is going to be gorgeous. You can't tell on the presentation, but having spent years in payments, I know how to manufacture really nice looking cards, and this is about a card you're proud of and you want to use, not about plastering a giant bank logo all over it.
Okay, and then finally, it sounds like you can manually enter, for instance, if you're targeted for a, let's say 3 months, spend this, that's something that you can manually enter into the rules and
Yep,
set and turn on?
so some of those features are not live in the mobile apps today, but they will be soon, and then they will be part of the card at its launch.
There you have it. I dare anyone to say you've already heard of all 10 of those companies. Pretty difficult. There's some new ones, there's some ideas, but they're all for the traveler, and that's what MilePoint is trying to do. So if you ever get a chance, stop by MilePoint, help somebody out with an answer, help MilePoint grow, because you can see MilePoint is pretty on to you guys. They're definitely dedicated. Tommy, Ed, Gary, and I are definitely dedicated to doing anything we can to make your life as a traveler worthwhile. So you've heard them all 10. Got them? Everybody got your scorecards, you took some notes, you kind of know what's going on. You've got the one that you, as Mr. Shark Tank and American Idol voter, is the one that you personally would put $50,000 on to win. Okay? Again, we're going to take the person with the highest vote. They go on to the final round. The first runner-up also goes on to the final round. There's 10 of them. You can only vote once. I'm going to go back through in the same order that they presented. Everybody got it? Once and only. It's really worth a lot to these guys. You've heard it, what they plan to do with the money. They could all use help. MilePoint is providing that help. And you're going to provide help by voting them up. Hey, guess who this is? This is Card Watchdog. First runner-up at the first competition for LaunchPoint. He's in the run for 50,000 big ones.
Yes, sir. We're excited and pumped about our product, and I think you guys would enjoy it.
Hey, cool. So what do you think about this LaunchPoint thing for little guys like you just getting started?
LaunchPoint is great. It's given us the opportunity to expose our product to users, to our user base. So, I mean, it's a wonderful idea. Totally on board with it. Thanks to Randy and the crew. Really appreciate it.
Cool. And those boarding area bloggers, were they tough on the questions, or was that a good part?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was a little, I didn't know how they were going to be, but they were great. They asked intuitive questions and very respectful.
Yeah. Tell me what it's like to go through 10 show of hands. You're down there. You're not the first one. You think, oh, where am I going to be? And then even when you got the vote, you're thinking, well, wait a second. There's other people after me still got arms to go. What's that like?
It's nerve-wracking, and you're trying to count the hands for each group, and eventually you just come to a point. It is what it is, and we'll just let it be.
What were your odds of really winning? I mean, you come here, you're thinking, I don't know, nobody's really seen it yet. Realistically, what were you thinking?
I thought it was a toss-up. I didn't know. Either way, I just was glad to be in front of people, sharing the product and getting exposure. I never really thought about winning or being the first runner-up, but I'm really excited that we were.
So what are you going to do with 50K?
Yes, what am I going to do with 50K? We're just going to continue to pour it into the product and develop the product, make it the best product it can be for users.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And just a couple words for those that maybe weren't in the competition, raising their hands. What the heck is Card Watchdog?
It's a place where you can manage all your rewards credit cards in one easy-to-use interface, and it will email you notifications of when your annual fees coming, minimal spend requirement, or a custom notification you want to set up.
All good. There he is, runner number 1, competition 1 of LaunchPoint for $50,000. Thanks to MilePoint.
Thank you. you guys.
There
Thank
you go,
Randy.
man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You know who this is? This is Matthew of Wallaby. But he's not just a Wallaby. He's the #1 guy. He won the first competition for LaunchPoint's $50,000 startup prize for travel ideas for frequent flyers. Matthew, way to go.
Thank you so much, Randy. We're just so proud to be here and really thrilled that the frequent flyers who are in the know voted for us.
What do you think it was that raised so many hands? I mean, there was a lot of competition. There was a lot of hands. What was with you guys?
I think you asked them to think like VCs, and what VCs think about is what's a big disruptive win that's going to make a big difference, and not just an incremental change. And that's what we're going for. We're aiming for the fences, and I think that gets people excited.
Cool. You know, in the Twitterverse, 140 characters or whatever, short words about what Wallaby is for somebody that wasn't at the competition.
So we always say Wallaby is one card to rule them all, earn more points and miles, and don't worry about it.
Cool. So 50 grand. That's a lot of money for anybody. I mean, what are you going to do with it?
So if we were to win the 50 grand at the end of the year, we have lots of great things we can do in terms of product development and making sure that we continue to build products for travelers that really maximize for them.
Yeah. What do you think of this LaunchPoint idea? It's kind of brand new, you know, a little bit of voting in front of the public, the travelers and stuff like that. You think it's going to fly? Is this an idea that will work?
Yeah, we love it. We're huge fans of LaunchPoint. We think it's great to get the real feedback from the people you really care about serving. There's nothing like that because this is our customers, and having our customers vote is the biggest thing for us.
#1, first guy to win a LaunchPoint competition. Congratulations,
Thanks, Randy.
Matthew. Cheers.